Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network. Dana, this is part of it, we keep saying, why we promote all of you guys, all of us in this progressive space, because the truth tellers, man, we were saying, CNN was just going to demote Jim Acosta, who left instead. I urge you support his Substack. He did a great piece about, not giving in to the lies. As I was saying, Chris and I were saying off the top of the show, this is going to happen with every tragedy, is Trump shoots off his mouth right away with no information about, obviously looking for blame. And you can't help but go, can you imagine if this happened under the Biden administration with Pete Buttigieg as transportation secretary? So Bakari Sellers just retweeted the headline from, when is this, 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago.
From the 21st.
Trump fires heads of TSA, Coast Guard, and Guts Key Aviation Safety Advisory Committee. CNN makes him take that down. I mean, because of timing, but
of course,
it's a true headline that, can you?
I want independent journalism to cover them like they would cover Pete Buttigieg. I wonder if the crash happened to do because the transportation secretary was straight. Yeah. Maybe that's why the planes crashed. I really want them. Someone has got to start covering the way they did when they were covering Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah. And, this is an Army helicopter, and you're like, oh, dear God. New Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth is going.
Charlotte Clymer said it best. How many things had to have gone wrong at that moment for a military helicopter to crash into this plane?
Right, a commercial airliner, and this obviously this has been the what do you call it? Logistics forever. Right. That's where it's DC. Right. I've been on that flight. I don't know how many times.
Granted,
I'm always on that American Airlines flight that lands at Reagan at 9:00.
Granted, that is a really, really crowded airspace right along the Potomac there.
Right.
But still.
Yeah, but there's also people in charge of making sure that airspace is safe.
Right.
So.
Right.
I mean, I can't even imagine. But you just know, who is he going to blame? Who's he? Because he will never take, even though it was his administration, his Defense Department, his Army helicopter. He's the one that just gutted aviation safety. It will be somebody's fault. I don't know if is he late talking, because I'm waiting to see what.
I don't know.
And then the right wing, Dana, as you know, will pick up whatever the lie is. We spent, Joe Biden sent $50 million worth of condoms to Gaza, which was just a complete lie. That's had to.
I don't even understand these headlines. Why they're picking these stories to actually try and sensationalize and make true is bizarre to me.
I mean, Gina tweeted, undocumented people do not qualify for federal grants, student loans, Medicaid, CHIP, SNAP, or TANF. By the way, these funding blackouts are hurting strictly poor U.S. citizens. Like most GOP policies, undocumented folks were just a convenient scapegoat to misdirect your fear and anger. I mean, and meanwhile...
It's the same with the DEI programs.
Yeah. And I was saying, we're at the opening concentration camps in Gitmo, part of our fascism. I mean,
and everyone's like, oh, don't make the comparison yet. And I'm like, what do you mean yet? You think that's how it started? I don't compare things to the Holocaust, but I will say the concentration camps didn't just start as concentration camps. It started off something much lesser and turned into that. So let's not be like, oh, you're overreacting. Right. Stop telling people they're overreacting.
Yeah. And as we keep saying, the Columbia, these planes, there weren't criminals on them. There were women and children on them. And, again, I guess this is what the Latinos for Trump said, right? Is, he's only going to deport criminals, not, my undocumented relatives. Well, we knew that wasn't true, Dana. How many times did we scream it, right?
That whole story got turned around, even in the press.
Thank you.
It was actually Columbia
who
was
like, he backed
do
down.
Not send them over shackled. Do not threaten us with tariffs. Back down, and we'll go get our own people. They picked up their own immigrants that were trying to find safety in the United States. And the entire press picked up the other story to the point where Allison Gill and I in the Daily Beans reported it wrong because we thought all of these sources were telling the truth. All of them.
That Columbia backed down. And it was the other way. Exactly. I said exactly the same thing. Dana,
Trump folded.
Thank you. Yes, who is this? Timothy tweeted Donald backed down when Columbia stood up to him, and he just backed down on his spending freeze. Learn from this and stand your ground.
Absolutely.
We keep talking about modeling courage and not cowardice. I'm looking at, do we have cowards of democracy? I know we have a heroes of democracy jingle, but Zuckerberg's Meta to pay Trump $25 million to settle lawsuit. Trump sued Facebook because they suspended his account after the January 6th riots, which they were very justified in doing. During the 24 campaign, Trump railed against Zuckerberg, threatened to throw him in prison. This settlement comes on the heels of the $1 million Zuckerberg already donated to Trump. And how many times has he been to Mar-a-Lago to kiss ass?
Yeah, it is dangerous. This whole thing is dangerous. We've been talking about this. We have to find a way to break the tech oligarchy that's happening in this country, because that's what it is. It's a tech oligarchy. There's a lot. Part of me is like, where's Anonymous when you need him? Why isn't someone hacking their code? Like, there's a lot of smart Democrats with a lot of money, or people that just care about this country. Do something.
We were just, Chris and I were saying yesterday about how Democrats have to fight differently. They have, there has to be what did Dr. King say? Fierce urgency of now. And I feel like, the AOCs and the Jasmine Crockett's have it.
Yes, that's exactly what I was saying. I want AOC energy. I want Crockett energy. I want Pritzker energy.
Yes,
I want
Pritzker.
all of this. No thoughts and prayers. Listen, I love our minority leader, but saying something like presidents come and go, the glory of God will protect us. Please don't send thoughts and prayers to fascism. Do something.
And Chuck Schumer yesterday saying, this is outrageous. It's like, come on. We need little more
listen, and I don't want
than that.
I don't want to engage in ageism, because I am, as you know, we just discovered yesterday I'm 40 years older than Bella. That's not important now, Dana. The important thing
not
is,
important at all.
Can someone hold this heart of the ocean? Okay.
She got that reference.
I know she got that reference. The old lady in Titanic.
Yeah, that movie came out before she was born.
I know.
It did.
Dana, it's not chronological age, right? It's old ways of doing things. It's old ways of communicating. It's having a press conference 24 hours later when, this $50 million worth of condoms lie has rocketed around, So, by the way, speaking of January 6th, this one, the Seattle Times, former doctor lost license, behind on home payments, killed in shooting at West Seattle home. He was a January 6th insurrectionist. Another one just got killed in a police shootout. When was that? A couple days ago.
Another one just killed someone in a drunk driving accident, and she's back in prison for 10 years. The recidivism rate with January 6th
because he let violent criminals.
One of the highest they've ever seen.
Thank you. Yes. Violent criminals out of prison. What do you think was going to happen? How many more of these are we going to see?
They also think they're Teflon. Oh, I've got a pardon. I can break any law I want. They don't understand how this works. You can't do that.
Yeah. Where am I? Robert Garcia. We got to get him on. We've been saying that forever. He's one of our fighters.
Not for lack of trying.
I know. Yeah, he said, as far as I'm concerned, not one of Trump's nominees deserves a single yes vote from Democrats. Thank you. Trump is already grossly violating the Constitution. Why are we working with him? Fight him every time. I think that's what our base wants, don't you think?
I do. I think there's two things that need to happen. We have to have a coordinated attack on social media on every single platform from every single Democratic account that when he breaks the law or does something unconstitutional, they send out the exact same message. Republicans have done this for years.
Yes.
Messaging matters. The other thing I want researchers talking about in these Republican strong-held districts, all of the constituents that are being hurt by the executive orders, I want them to have numbers, and I want them to tag every single of their Republican elected officials so that they see their voters are being damaged by this. So maybe one of them will get a spine and start voting against some of this stuff. Make it public. Put them on call. Make sure everyone knows what's happening. We have got to do better.
Yep. Amy Siskin said, I know some of you are questioning your approach to social media. I just want to encourage you. Now is not the time to withdraw. Now is the time to get loud. I mean, if you're not woken up now, today, I don't know what to tell you, but I know people were depressed. I'm checking out. I'm, tuning out. I'm not, but got to get back in the fight, Dana. Do what you need to do for self-care, but you got to, I agree with her. You got to get in the fight.
There's that meme that's going around, don't panic, organize. They cannot, if we get a bigger coalition and we start going after them, it's going to matter. But if we're scattered, and it's a big fish going after little fish, they're going to take them out one at a time. We have got to build a giant school and go after them.
And we were already saying, Dana, he's the first polling out. He's been down 7 points in a week. I mean, it is, and we keep talking about the Google search, top Google search, people who regret voting for Trump. We are 1 week in. Right? I mean, it's like you were talking about.
What is that joke we told in the last administration? His poll numbers are going down faster than Marjorie Taylor Greene in a gym bathroom.
Whoa,
what?
Dana Louise Goldberg.
Whoa, yeah.
I don't even know what that... But, we did a whole story earlier, right, Chris, about this Trump voters who were like, what? like a week in, right? And one of them's a, whatever, bigot lady.
One of the best lines I have heard is from our dear Frances Collier, Frangela, and she posted that Trump supporter who's like, wait, Mr. President, my wife just wanted to be a nurse and help veterans, but your executive order, she's a federal worker, and now she's got her job rescinded. I know you didn't mean to do this. And Frances said, to white people, how does it feel to shoot yourself in the face when you're aiming for black folk?
Yep.
And I felt that in my chest because that's exactly what's happening. DEI programs help women and veterans almost more than any other group of people.
Yep.
And
they're finding out real fast that they are screwing themselves now.
Well, the woman I was talking to you about, she's like a 65-year-old woman from Arizona. She voted for Trump. She's like, well, I don't like all this, whatever. What's with the billionaires and all the stuff that was clear when, Elon Musk was bouncing around the stage behind him but she literally said, oh, well, the trans surgery, and that was the thing I really voted on. And I'm like,
oh, God.
First of all, that lie is what you voted. And now you don't like anything else he's doing. And you're like, but at least that one girl can't play badminton in your state. Louise. Is her name Louise? Her name was Louise.
There's one thing we have to do, and I think we need to stop assuming all Trump voters don't care, because I think a lot of them are starting to realize, some of them are starting to realize that they got snowed. Yeah. There is a gay Trump supporter that actually was at January 6th. He got a pardon, and he said, I don't need basically to suck up to this narcissist. I've learned my ways. You can shove your pardon right up your...
Yeah.
And so that was one person. Then you've got Granny MAGA, who was at January 6th and now realizes, oh, my God, and is going around trying to deprogram people. There are some reachable people out there. Do not write this entire country, that half of the country, off.
Yeah.
Some of them are still reachable.
I'm still working on my grace and forgiveness. I need to go back to my Catholic school
teachings. No, I don't have grace and forgiveness. I'm just saying that when they're there, we still have a midterm coming up. And if we can show them that there is a better way, maybe, just maybe they will.
I'm just saying, I compared
errors.
It to when you go through a breakup and then, in fact, I believe, Dana, I'll talk to you about it off here. There's a couple people that you tried to warn me about that I could, I
know,
that,
but
right?
I think I'm...
Honestly, I think Hakeem Jeffries tried grace and forgiveness yesterday, and it didn't work.